out my camera again this morning, and I just realized that I've got the tape over the phone where I won't be able to read comments. So you leave it to me to make this trip as difficult as possible, because that's what I do. There we go. We'll try that. Of course, I'll probably lose my phone. It's part of what I do is my routine, is I lose my phone while I'm fishing. And the sun is going to be in my eyes, so I don't know if I'll even be able to read comments. I'm going to try to move into the shade so I can see my phone. Yeah, I left my GoPro at the house this morning, which is, you know, just genius of me. Absolutely genius. That might be a little better if I can get around the corner from that sun. And I've got the tape over the part where it says who's watching, so I have no idea who's watching. I'm just going to fish and try to enjoy my morning, even though it's already off to a little bit of a rough start. But that's my MO, man. That's my MO. I don't expect too many people to be watching this early in the morning, but anybody wants to watch is welcome to. I'm showing a ton of stuff under me. Bait fish, good gravy. There's all kinds of stuff under me. Let's see what happens. Hey, PBR. Morning, Bubba. How you doing? Richard Brown, what's going on, man? Yeah, I just got here, just got started. They left my GoPro at the house like a big moron. And I'm competing with about 10 million boats out here. I'm fishing on Caney Creek. It's up in Kingston, Tennessee. For anybody wondering, I just have to kind of turn around and look at my phone from time to time, because I normally like to film with my GoPro for a better picture, but it's okay. We'll go with what we got. You been doing any fishing, PB? I hadn't seen anything in a while. Of course, I've been busy working and taking care of the wife and everything coming and going, so I've not had as much time to. I believe I might have something really small. Ah, a perch. Wow, I ain't caught one of them in years. Wow, a little perch. Oops. Man, that's crazy. Look at that. You can see that or not. Look at the colors on that thing. That'd make good bait. Fished a tournament yesterday. How did you come out pretty good? Win any good prizes? I fished a tournament or two in my lifetime, but I'm telling you what, I always managed to catch some fish, but I never even come in last. It's the most awful thing ever was. So I quit trying to fish tournaments. I have good luck when I fish by myself or when ain't nothing going on, but buddy, you put me in a tournament and that's the end of it. I'll lose a fishing rod or something. It's normally a good lake, but the water's not been back up. Didn't weigh in. Let fish go and went home. Yeah, you sound like me. You know when you got a winner and when you don't. It's just like no point in weighing them sometimes, is it? No point in weighing them. I kind of started out with small stuff this morning, little spin jig bait. They had a tournament out of here yesterday, and I don't know how many boats was in it, but I can about guarantee you there was probably 50, 60 boats in it. And they've probably got the water all good and messed up. Um, I'm gonna put a fluke on here in just a second though, because I didn't really come out here to catch small fish, but I do want to catch something. So I'm just goofing around right now. Let me go ahead and switch rods out. And let's see. There's my fluke right there. We're gonna quit messing around. No, it ain't a fluke. It's a swim bait. I got a fluke right here we're gonna put on. We're still fairly early in the morning, so I'm hoping the top water might be good. Carolyn, what's up? Hi, back to you. Oof. That was chewed up pretty good. Tell you what, let me reach right here and fish out. Another one here somewhere. I'll go to worms here in a little bit probably, but definitely gonna try a fluke here while it's still shady and halfway. Good Lord, that's a huge fluke. I don't want one that big. Although it couldn't hurt. It's a smaller version. We'll try that. Yeah, the last tournament I fished in, I caught 2 good fish right off the rip. Come up to about close to 5 pounds for those 2 fish, and then didn't catch another freaking thing. I weighed in, but I came in like 8th or something. I'm seeing a lot of minnows in the water. We've had the shad spawn going on. I don't know if it's still going on or not. I think it may be just about over, but if you can get here early in the morning on that shad spawn, it is really good, man. I mean, you can wear out the bass. I'll kind of turn towards the bank where y'all can see. There we go. We'll skip it under this tree right here. Well, of course I skipped it into the tree. Come on, let go. Let go. One good thing about a kayak is it does put you lower to the water. Freddie Play. What's up, Freddie Play? Appreciate you checking in, man. Yeah, the other day I went plumb up and under a dock. It was pretty tall like that, and I had my fishing rods laying flat, and I went right up and underneath it and was fishing. Can't hardly do that in a bass boat for sure. The one disadvantage is that you can't see as good when you're using like flukes, where you can see, a lot of times you can see them hidden under the water. But with them in here hitting minnows, I would think a fluke would probably be a relatively good choice. I may have to catch anything, I may have to either go back down smaller, use worms on the bottom or lizards or something. Good cast. That put me right up close to the corner of that dock. We'll see what happens here. Yeah, I even debated on whether to go live this morning or not because of how early it is. There's no fish in the trees. I know, dude. It's like, I live in the trees, man. I was fishing the other day and found a good plug hanging in a tree, and I went right up and underneath there and got it. You never know. I might get something out of here in a minute. The last time I was here, I caught a good fish around this dock. That's been a while back, though. I'm still having to get used to casting. Ooh, skipped it right under there, boy. We'll see what happens. Yeah, normally I like to have that GoPro back there and my phone up here where I can see it better. But it's too early in the morning. I guess my brain wasn't working. I left my camera at the house. You know, tell me how many people's fished this dock already this morning. But you never know when a fish might just be waking up too, so to speak. Yeah, I'll try this for a minute. Fluke don't do it, something will, I'm sure. Let's see. Get my nose back around this way. Punk. You know, by banging the dock really hard, it alerts the fish that you're here. You know, and that it lets them know that you're ready to catch them. So I always did like making a big old racket while I was fishing. Go around this dock and get to the other side of it. We'll see what happens. It's a pretty place to fish, and there's not as much boat traffic back in here as there is out on the main part of the lake. Ah, what a dock. That guy's got more in that dock than I got in my house. All right, let me see if I can get one way up there. Caught one perch so far. That's the first perch I've caught probably 25 years. I don't remember the last time I caught a perch. It's been so long. Turn the nose in here, you can see a little better. There we go. My fluke looks good coming through the water. Well, it did until it got crooked there. This lake's not known for real good grass, or at least this part of it. You go up the lake about 30 minutes. There's a lot of trees. I mean, there's cypress trees in the water and all kinds of good stuff. A lot of milfoil and hydrilla, stuff they really like. There we go. There we go. I'll get me a new fluke on here so it's not so worn out already and coming off. I would think with the shad spawn going on that the fish would really be tearing the flukes up, but not always. You're racing at Brainerd Motorsports? Oh, that'd be cool, man. We'll get some video. I've heard of Brainerd before. Never been there. That would be really cool. My homeboy fishes, races, all kinds of stuff, man. He got more hobbies than I got. A friend of mine got into these little race cars that are they got motorcycle engines, like Kawasaki 1100cc engines in them. Look like little mini oh, what do they call those things? Outlaws, like outlaw racing, the little bitty guys. I don't know how fast they get up to, but he was putting him one together. And it's supposed to be racing here real soon if he ain't already started. I ain't had a chance to talk to him in a while and see what's going on with him. But that'd be cool to see some racing. We had we got a racetrack up here called Atomic Speedway years ago, and I think they closed it down. Now we just have the Morgan County Wartburg Raceway, and people go there to watch the fights, and occasionally you'll see a race. That's the old joke they used to say. You go there to watch the fights, and sometimes a race will break out. I imagine that's probably true about every dirt track ever was. They like to fight more than they like to race. I normally use a lighter colored fluke. This pumpkin fluke might be all right. This water's just a little bit milky. I don't know, we'll see. Not my favorite color, but I'm out of my white ones. I like the little shorter, the pearl, they're like 5 inches or something long. I got the magnums, but god dang, man, they're that freaking long. And I don't know, I don't have as much luck on them. It's almost like too much for most of the fish around here. Although I imagine you catch a monster on one if you put it on, but I'm more about trying to catch a fish and not worrying about trying to catch a trophy fish right now. Been catching a lot of white bass. Certain part of the lake back towards the steam plant, there's been a ton of fish hitting the minnows over in there, but mostly what I've been catching is just stripe, which is fun. But I thought I would kind of concentrate on bass fishing today to see if I could catch anything. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I don't know. Let me see what I got on my other rod. Swim bait. Yeah, you can't go wrong with a swim bait. Let me try that for a minute. We may already be past the best part of the morning to be catching top water anyway. I got my lithium battery in. It seems to be working pretty good so far. Got a feeling my best bet's going to be probably fishing with a swim bait toward the bottom, or using some worms, lizards. Spring lizards work pretty good this time of the year. Got the Kitech on. We'll see if that produces anything. Look past these trees a little bit and we'll see what happens. Yeah, if you've been thinking about getting a lithium battery for your boat, man, it's a bomb, dude. They charge up fast and weigh so much less. It's still 7 feet of water. Picked up some grass or something. Stick, stick fish. I don't know, I got a feeling it's going to be one of them mornings where it's a little bit slow. They've not even brought our lakes all the way up yet. I wish they'd bring the water up to full pool, but we ain't had enough freaking rain. Yeah, it's a good looking lake. And normally, when the water's all the way up, it's pretty good fishing. But like I said, we've not had enough rain, and they're not running the dams to bring the lakes up full pool yet. We're still several feet low. Uh, like this area here, the water is usually right up to the dirt. All that rock that you can see there is all covered up. Oh, put it right in that treetop. Um, yeah, normally these trees are pretty much all submerged, but we just ain't had enough rain, and all the lakes around here are still several feet lower than they normally are for this time of the year, and that's not helping the cause for sure. I can see little minnows flitting out in front of us here and there. Of course, it could be a little stripe too. They get in here, they'll chase these bait fish back in here. Bunch of little yellow-bellied stripe. I don't remember what they call them, but yellow bass or whatever. Sorry for the coughing. I just got over the freaking flu 3 or 4 weeks ago, and man, my lungs are still not quite back right. Get back here and shade a little bit more. I'm gonna be shedding this long sleeve shirt in about 4 minutes. It's supposed to get up in mid 80s today, so it'll be fairly warm. There we go. Right into a tree. There we go. Ooh, I can feel it bumping tree limbs. Of course, that's where the fish are hiding. Ooh, that felt just like a hit right there. That felt like a hit. It didn't feel like a snag. It felt like something actually grabbed it. Go right back in there again. And there could still be some, I don't know, I hit something right there. I think that was a tree limb. There may still be some fish on the nest back in here too. I'm not sure that all the bass have spawned out yet. You can hear a jet moving around somewhere out there. A lot of racket. It's a beautiful morning to be out fishing, no kidding. It's a absolutely perfect morning. Temps ain't too cool, ain't too warm. Man, oh man, where are the fish this morning? Where are they at? They are hiding. Shoot a little bit more out toward the middle, deeper part of the cove here, and we'll see. Getting in pretty shallow. Yeah, see, normally this is about 6-7 foot deep till you get almost all the way to the back. And right now I'm sitting in 3 feet, so. And if they were still spawning, I would say it'd probably be a good place to fish, but I think they've already moved back out of this shallower water. Any sizable fish probably has. Yeah, bent push rods, you darn skippy, man. If those things get out of time, or not out of time, but if you get any slop in those valves, you have to adjust those valves fairly regular, because what will happen, it'll hit that hard hump, and you know when it's happening when you go to start it and it goes, uh, 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 uh. you know, and it pauses before it makes the full spin over. That's when you know you need to adjust them. I don't know how many motors I've seen ruined by that because people think it's a dead battery first, then they think it's the starter solenoid or the key switch, and next thing you know, they've ruined their motor because they didn't get the valves checked. It's just one of those overlooked things. And if you're lucky enough to catch it before it happens, usually it's not too big of a deal. Just adjust some valves. But if you wait till you've actually bent one, then a lot of times you've done messed up good. But yep, I see it a lot, man. I've actually quit doing this. Well, I quit working at Ace Hardware. Let's put it that way. I still do some small engine work here and there, but I went back to doing my remodeling, plumbing, electrical, and stuff. The place I worked, I got frustrated over there. They don't want to pay you nothing. You work your hind end off. They don't want to pay you nothing. It's a mess. It's a mess. And they had a new manager over there that was a complete dick. So I figured I'd better quit before I got an assault charge. Ron Block Bassin, thank you, bub. Appreciate the sub, man. Sure enough, I sure do. I appreciate anybody that does that. Yeah, just put the push rods back in it and see if that takes care of your problem. Adjust them, give yourself a couple thousandths gap on them, and see what happens from there. A lot of times it'll bend the crank, not the crank, but the actual piston rod. That seems to be the biggest issue most of the time, is either break a rod or bend it real bad. So, yeah, so I'm picking up some grass. But I tell you, some of the worst ones to do that are the single cylinder engines. Those like 17. They have such a hard thump anyway because they got a big piston for that size motor. And they're some of the worst to do that. Kohler used to make good engines. I don't know what happened to them. I used to tell people that's the best engine you could get. I don't think so, not anymore. Kawasaki makes the best lawnmower engine now. I've noticed you can get a gazillion miles on those before you have much problem with them. You damn Japanese, they got the shit. They got the technology, tight tolerances. I don't know. They actually give a shit about their stuff, I guess. That's all I can say about that. Some of the better engines back in the day were just the old original Briggs and Strattons. I had an old Craftsman lawnmower with a Briggs and Stratton engine on it that lasted me for forever. I mean, forever. You couldn't kill it. I sold it just to get rid of it, which is probably stupid. All right, guys, I'm gonna spin the boat around and get out of this shallow water because I just don't think we're gonna do much good back in here. Get out on the main. We'll get out on this main bank down through here somewhere. Get this bad boy in high gear. Let's move on with it. Hope that sun don't get in y'all's eyes too bad. That's why I was fishing this way to start with, so the sun wouldn't be in your face. Ooh, that's bright. That is luckily, maybe you guys can't really, it's not hitting your eyes as fast as it is mine. There's a rocky point out here we'll go try. See, like over there, you can see because I'm not named that way, but over there is a big rocky bank, but right now it's not even in the water. That's a problem. That's a good place to fish when the water's up where it's supposed to be. Fish hang out there real good. Yeah, that's what I call it, fishing and not catching, like I always say. It's something all the freaking time. Something right there. Then we'll get out to this point out here where these rocks are. And I'll probably switch over to something like a worm or something that'll go to the bottom. Just Ned rig, Ned worm, Texas rig, lizard or something. I don't know. Well, so far they've been pretty tight lipped. Lunchables for after a while. Gatorade. Gotta have that Gatorade. Keep it going. Dang. Back in the day, you used to carry a beer or two with him. Anymore, they get you in trouble for that. Lunchable rule. Yeah, you can eat them while you're racing. Yeah, since you're into racing, dude. I got a cool story to tell you. My mom's brother, they lived in Virginia, right up near Bristol racetrack, about maybe an hour or less from Bristol racetrack. And back in the day, I had an uncle. Now, I don't know this for sure, but I think he might have ran liquor. And he knew Junior Johnson, the crew chief for Richard Petty. They got to be good buddies. And my uncle go watch him race all the time. He'd run around with Junior. My uncle's name was Junior too. His name was Eddie, but everybody called him Junior. And he used to run around with Junior Johnson. Well, I think it was the late 70s, 80, 79, 80, 81, somewhere in there. Daytona 500. Richard Petty trashed his car. And my uncle ended up buying just the body of it. It didn't have a motor or nothing. But he bought that from him. I don't think he gave him hardly nothing for it. Still had the original tires and wheels on it. And it sat in my grandmother's barn for about, I don't know, I'm gonna say maybe 20 years, 15, 20 years. And somebody from a car museum found out about it and they bought it from him. I don't know, I have no idea what he sold it for, but when I was a kid, I'd climb in that car and pretend I was racing. We were all big Richard Petty fans back in the day. You vote for adult size Capri Suns? I'm with you, dude. Me too. Me too. They'll sell that stuff in a half-gallon jug. Man, see this bank right here, all those rocks usually are in the water. I don't know. But that sun's about to put y'all's eyes out, ain't it? Well, ain't too bad. Ain't too bad. Not as bad as I thought it would be. See what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna kick it over there that side in the shade. And see if we can do any good over there. Although those rocks all look good down through there. Yeah, I don't know. I'll tell you what. That point was pretty good. I might fish that point real quick before I go into there. Especially since there ain't no boats on it. A lot of times this place gets hammered with the boats. Oh, ooh, something big just jumped right there, guys. And that didn't sound like no carp. They usually sort of do a lobby out of the water deal and don't make that much kind of racket. Get my depth finder back over here. Let's see what's going on. Kind of getting a little too close to the bank. This thing reverse, back up a little bit. There we go. Let's see what happens here. It's a nice big old rock pile out there. It looks like that'll hold a fish or two. Yeah, that's how all that racing started. I'm sure you've probably heard that before, though. Moonshine runners took their cars and they hit the dirt tracks with them. Shit, that sun's right in my eyes, guys. I can hardly see what. It figures. I can't see. The sun's in my face so bad I can't read what's on the phone there. I'll get with you in just a second. Let me fish this out a minute and I'll take a look real quick. There's bound to be at least a bass or two on this point right here, surely. Keep picking up little pieces of grass out here, so the grass is growing. Like I say, right now I'm just using a small spinner bait. It's almost bluegill size, but it'll catch small bass as well as bigger bass when they're being particular. All right, I'm gonna go back to the bigger bait real quick. Man, that sun is horrible. Kind of head this way for a minute. Let's see. My neck ain't as flexible as it used to be. 61 will get the better of you, buddy. All right, let's try this. I'm seeing bait fish on the depth finder. Down scan, see what's up on that. Nothing. Nothing. I'm gonna fish on around this corner. I am seeing some fish jumping around the corner there. They may have some bait balled up going at it. And I may just have to simply get in deeper water too. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna spin around real quick. That's one thing about this boat. You can literally turn it on a dime. Whoa, I hit a rock. Well, it's sitting in pretty shallow water. Right around the corner, here we go. Truth be known, I'm probably sitting where I need to be actually fishing. Instead of being so close to the bank, I need to be further out fishing and letting it get into deeper water. There's a drop off right there. We'll see. I'm seeing minnows jumping out there. There's bound to be some fish in there wearing them out. Yes, I'm seeing fish jumping out there. Let me go out here in the middle of this cove real quick and see what all this jumping stuff is. There may be a big school of minnows gathered up out here. All right, let me turn around where I can see here real quick. God dang, I cannot see shit. Looks like a wacky rig day. Yep, I know. That's what I'm thinking. That's exactly what I was thinking. Something that go down on the bottom and sit slowly for these picky ass fish. We got a hump right here. It drops off where we just came off. And I saw this says schooler. That might be crappie. The way they're stacked up on each other. Mark that. I may come back to that in a minute. I'm gonna head off this rocky bank right here because that's a little bit deeper water. Oh guys, I'm gonna turn my boat this way. You can see some deer. There's a couple of deer out here feeding on the bank. I don't know if you'll be able to see them from this distance with my phone. There's two deer out there. One's in the shade and one's kind of pretty much standing right in the edge of the water. They're both in the edge of the water. Let's just see how close we can get to them before they haul ass. I'll speed up a little bit. See if we can sneak up on them. I don't know if you can see them yet or not. You might be able to see them by now. Turn on back here real quick. I have noticed they don't spook as easy when you're in a canoe or a kayak as they do in a boat. bit. Morning, fellas. How you boys doing? Good, good, good. I didn't think it'd take long to spook you guys. Now, ain't that cool? Did y'all see them deer? I don't know if you can see them or not. There's one right there. The other one just went into the edge of the woods. Sorry I bothered y'all. That's the cool thing about fishing. You never know what you're gonna see out in the water or on the bank or whatever. You never know. Anyway, I thought that was pretty cool, guys. Get to see a little wildlife. I recorded a couple on the bank fishing in another spot there just a couple weeks ago. I better get out of shallow water. I'm in shallow water. Super shallow. Yep, I think I'm gonna do a wacky rig on this rocky bank up here. And I'm gonna take the fluke off. What am I seeing flying above me? What is that? Well, I guess it's a jet. You just can't see its wings. See that right there? I mean, there's fish jumping right there. I'm gonna put this one up. I'm gonna fish right towards them. Put this back up for just a minute. I don't know if y'all saw those deer or not. I thought that was pretty cool. Did you see them? Yeah, that's pretty neat, wasn't it? If I was a deer hunting, I'd been wanting the boat for sure. That's something I thought about doing. This boat actually can handle 300. I think it's 350 pounds is the rating, and I weigh 160. So I could probably put a sizable deer in this boat. I have a creek at my house that I have been thinking seriously about trying to find a good spot to get into it and fish it. Might not be a bad idea to try to hunt. see the minnows jumping right up here. I'm gonna scoot up just a little bit. Let's see what in the world's doing all that jumping. Put that back up. And we'll get this little beetle spin out. Just see if that's crappie or perch or something hitting them. Ah, Figgis. Let me get my glasses down where I can see a little better. From NE, Louisiana. Looks like it's peaceful. Amy here, and I bet you wish he was fishing, wouldn't you? Well, thanks for joining in, girlie. I appreciate that. Like and subscribe. I got a lot of good videos. I probably should say that more often, but I feel like a pig if I ask people to do it. So I've got some pretty good videos catching fish. This is one of the days where, you know, may not catch much, but I'm enjoying it nonetheless. Whether I catch anything or not, I still have fun. See, like right out there, I keep seeing fish jumping. Well, okay. This little fishing rod, a reel, it's old as crap. I don't know why I hadn't trashed it already by now, but they throw away good stuff. I bet it's a 20-year-old reel. I got into some grass there or something. He said he's minnows jumping right in front of me. Let's see. We're here real slow. And of course I hung up, went a little too slow. All right, let me scoot up here. Try to get this loose. Not in that deep water, so it'll probably come out pretty easy. I don't know, we'll see. Just shoot past it. And there, see there? Bam, quick save. Quick save. Tell you what, for the sake of my eyes, the sun, I'm gonna shoot across to that shady side, guys. We'll see if we can get into the shade where we can see a little better. Where are you from? Oh, dude, I've been to Louisiana. When we was kids, we had some friends that lived there, and we spent 2 weeks. Oh, let's see. I'll try to remember that town. It wasn't very far from Baton Rouge. Real crap. I can't remember now. Anytime you try to think of something, you'll never think of it, but it'll come to me in a minute. But yeah, we spent 2 weeks down there fishing and crabbing. Man, that was some of the best times ever was. And I'm from Tennessee. If you look up Watts Bar Lake in Tennessee, I live it's about a 25-minute drive from where I'm at right now back to my house. But yeah, if you look up Watts Bar, you'll see it's a big lake. It goes all through the Tennessee River runs into it, and let's see, it goes all the way to Chattanooga and then into Alabama. It's just one big long lake. It just keeps on going. TVA controls it all. Here we go. Try this and see what happens. Just inside the shade line. It helps me be able to see a little better. There we go. Yeah, oh, that's much better. My eyes ain't killing me now. Yeah, ran off without my GoPro and ran off without my glasses, my sunglasses. On one thing I got to do before I do anything else, and that is shed this shirt. I've got way too much clothes on for the temperature. Well, not all my shirts, just the first. I could have sworn it was about 60, so it's just a little cool to go short sleeve. Let's see what happens. I'll get my life jacket back on here in a second. I don't want to end up, you know how it is. When they take it off, some boat will come through here and swamp me. Oh, I saw that. I saw that. Something jumped real big right there. Let's see if I can hit close to where he was at. I can hear fish jumping all around me. I just don't know what they're chasing. Bait fish is what they're doing. Chasing bait fish. Usually that means, you know, swim baits, anything that looks like a minnow. Yep, snagglepuss. We got a snagglepuss in our line here. Oh, gee whiz. This is why I don't use bait casters for the biggest part of the time, because of that, but it can happen with a spin reel too. There we go. Old snagglepuss. Aggravating. Oh, one thing. I'm going to tie on a topwater plug, and I am going to tie on I've got my swim bait on, but I'm definitely going to get, I'm going to tie on like a topwater popper. Yeah, it was a mess. I got it out though. That's not too bad. If you can get it out, it ain't so horrible. If you can't get it out, well, you're just shit out of luck. Let's see. Ah, here we go. There we go. All right. I'm sure everybody's seen the old whopper plopper in action before. It may be just a hair late in the morning. I don't know. I don't think so. I've caught them on top water all day, but We'll see. We'll see. You rascal. Why are you being so difficult? There we go. All right. I'm gonna see if I can hang it in my pants and my leg a couple times before I get it tied on here. I was fishing in Gunnersville, Alabama a couple years ago and got a fish hook in my thumb so bad I had to go to the emergency room down there. What color is that one? It's I can't remember the name of the color. It's sort of a shad color, and it works really well on this lake. Boat turned here. See, I keep seeing fish jumping out there on top water. Let's see if I can get somewhere out there close to where he's at. Maybe where you just got to do a little top water fishing to get their attention. But yeah, I'm definitely going to put on a something on the bottom here in a minute on my other rod. Because there's days when they just, if they're not going to hit a whole lot of nothing else, you can definitely get them to smack a lizard, Texas rig, worm, something along those lines. We'll get this back on real quick. I'm so close to the bank, if I fell in, I can swim to shore without any problem. The water's not that cold. But safety first, people, right? Safety first. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. All right. Get my stuff caught up here a little bit. With them hitting top water everywhere around me, I feel like I'm bound to catch one if I go top water at some point. This is the main channel through here, so when the boats come through, they come through. And they generally come through here flying. Occasionally they'll be nice to us kayakers, but most of the time they just come through here booking it. Here come the waves. And watch the phone go blah, 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 blah. Who said hi? Hang on a minute and I'll look when the sun's up. Mobiliza. Or Aza. Mobiliza. Thanks for saying hi, man. Thanks for stopping by. Like and subscribe if you want more of this action. Because I'm tearing them up this morning. Oh, man. Sooner or later, I'm bound to catch a bass. Probably sooner than later. Probably later than sooner. I know what I've had luck on here in the past. Ned rig with a little bit short worms and a shaky head with a wacky rig worm, believe it or not. Works real well. It's supposed to get hot today. Yeah, it's going to be up about, I don't know, probably, it was either 85 or 87. I don't remember, but yeah, it's going to be pretty warm. That's one reason why I came out fairly early, was kind of hoping to beat the heat. I figured being Sunday morning, most of the tournaments were yesterday. I didn't think I'd have that many boats to compete with, but there is plenty of them in here right now. So there was probably 30 or 40 trucks at the boat ramp that I was at a minute ago. So I don't know, we'll see. Look, somebody's got a camp spot set up over here. That's one good thing about this lake. There is a lot of places you can camp. So for people that don't have a boat, have kids, want to spend time on the lake, there's several places you can park and get off on the bank and fish. When we was kids, my dad would borrow a boat before we ever bought our first one. I don't remember the guy's name now, but he had a little aluminum boat with about a 12 or 15 horse motor on it. And Dad would borrow it from him once or twice a year and take us fishing and camping. Good memories. My dad's gone now, has been almost 20 years. Or actually, let's see. He's been gone 22 years, man. Where'd the time go? But yeah, that's then when we were about 15, 16, I think it was, me and my brother went in together and bought an aluminum boat, and then Dad bought the motor for it. And that started our fishing out of a boat deal. We've had several mini boats since then, for sure. What are you doing, buddy? We got a guard dog watching the tent over here. What are you doing, buddy? You guarding the tent? Yeah, oh, you gonna growl at me? You gonna growl at me, buddy? Check this out. I'll show you something real quick. We got a, well, let's see, turn a little bit more. There we go. We got somebody camping and a guard dog watching the tent. He growled at me. We go back up this way because I started about in the middle of this bank. Guard dog, good guard dog. Yeah, I know it. Ain't nobody getting to that tent. Yeah, AJ, that's you're right. A lot of good memories. My dad started their obsession with fishing and hunting when I was 6, 7 years old, something like that. And I've been doing it ever since. I'm 61. So more kids need that. They need daddies that take them hunting and fishing. For sure. Fish just jumped right there. I know a lot of times you can throw right in behind one splashes like that, and you can catch it. Especially if he's smacked like a shiner minnow up, and he ain't come back and picked it up yet. But I believe, yeah, we're definitely going to go to a wacky rig worm or something that's going to the bottom and slow working. Well, I'm sitting in a good shady spot. I'm gonna go ahead and rig one of my rods up for that. I might as well, because I'm telling you. Which one am I going? I think I'm going to do this one. I got this, put me a milk crate in the back of this thing finally, and some pieces of PVC pipe to hold the rods in place. Yeah, there's, like I said, there's several places you can camp on this lake. Tennessee has a lot of good stuff. I've lived here my whole life. I have been other places, but I moved to Rock Hill, North Carolina a long time ago for a short time, and it was cool. I was up there with my cousins and stuff, but I just didn't, I don't know, I missed home. I missed my lakes. I missed everything about Tennessee, so I came back. So let me see, what am I going to do? I think. I'll go ahead and Texas rig. Yep. Wind's blowing just a little bit, not too bad. Almost no wind actually, which on a hot day a little breeze ain't bad. With you guys just a second. Get this. There we go. That Lunchable is getting ready to get gone here shortly. Just tie it on here real quick. There we go. Yeah, my wife informed me this morning there's a Cracker Barrel about 30 minutes, or not 30 minutes. It's a Cracker Barrel about 15 minutes from here. And she done said if I went fish this morning, I had to hit the Cracker Barrel on my way back and get her breakfast. So I guess that's what I'll be doing here after a while. one of the lizards. There they are. Roll with that for a minute. We'll see what happens here. This is one of the best colors to use on this lake, is the green pumpkin. Little black flakes in it. I'll show you what I've got there. So, what's up, Matt? Matt. Hey, sir. Hey, buddy. How's it going? Glad you're joining in with us, man. We are not putting a hurting on them, but we are sure trying. Maybe if we change our game plan, we'll actually start catching some fish here. I know typically in the past I have used lizards here and caught quite a few fish on them. Sometimes you get so hung up on fishing one way because it worked so good last week that you don't want to change your habit or your fishing pattern and get all stubborn about it. I ain't that stubborn. I can be mule-headed, but but I ain't that stubborn. Have you ever been fishing with somebody and they was catching fish? Or let me rephrase that. You're fishing with somebody, you're catching fish like crazy, and you offer them the same bait you're using. You know, just you're like, hey man, they were really tearing up this purple flake worm or whatever. Or I've got an extra one of these baits. And they absolutely refuse, and they just get mad because they ain't catching anything. Man, if I'm fishing with somebody and they're wearing them out on some plug, I'll say, man, you ain't got another one of them, do you? I am not ashamed to ask for it. I'm not that stubborn when it comes to fishing, for sure. I've had people I've fished with in the past, I wouldn't fish with them again, ever. They just get plumb ugly with it when things ain't going their way. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that depth finder from here, but all on this left side off this deeper water, there's all kinds of schools of swimming minnows out through here. So I don't know. But we'll see what happens here. All right, let's see what happens. Maybe something will happen here in a minute. I'd like to think, but I'm eventually going to figure out what they're wanting, and then maybe I can entertain y'all a little bit more than just sitting here yakking your heads off by catching some fish. That is the only downside to fishing a kayak, is that when one spot ain't no good, you just shoot down the lake to the next spot and the next spot. But with a kayak, you just sort of pick a good, what normally would be a decent spot of where you've caught fish, and that's kind of where you're going, you know. I can go about 5 miles on this battery before it's dead. But that's 5 miles, you know, 6 miles maybe tops. So you don't want to go no more than about maybe 2.5 miles out before you come back. That's the only thing with the kayak. I guess I could put me maybe a small 2-horse, 3-horse motor on it, but I don't think this thing could, I don't know what it would do. I've seen video of people putting motors on them and they go and they sink. Gatorade, because it refreshes you. The fruit punch flavor is great. Being an athlete, you know, and I gotta work out, man, and I drink my Gatorades, man. Because, you know, when you're all buff like I am, after I work out, man, I have myself a cig, you know, pump myself back up. Oops, see some more people camping up here. I'm gonna go back up this way a little bit. I see somebody fishing that rocky bank I was over at a few minutes ago. And they're kind of like what I said, they're fishing way out off that bank, so that's probably where I screwed up. I just got too daggone close to it. I'm Matt. You a fisherman, Matt? I guess you are if you're watching these fish. You're bound to be. Either that or there's just absolutely nothing else to do today, right? Yeah, man, it's raining. I'm bored. I fish with my brother a lot. He's out of town right now. He goes by Paul's Outdoor Academy. Man, you talking about somebody likes to fish. Holy moly. I like fishing. But he'll go sometimes 5 days a week. I kind of get a little bit burnt out on it after, you know, a trip or two or three in a week's time. Yeah, if you can see or not, there's a guardrail right there. The road goes right through here. And any of these grassy spots, if you can find a place to park, you set up a tent. Nobody says nothing. Which is pretty cool. I'm gonna definitely fish this pile of rocks right here. Like zooming by on a 10-speed. All right, let's see what happens. I throw out here toward these rocks. Maybe, just maybe, I'll figure out what they're in the mood for. What you in the mood for? What you in the mood for? Carl Childers fishing. I reckon I caught one. He was eating a peanut butter biscuit. I'm using braid line. I got spider wire braid line on with a 10-pound leader, monofilament leader. This stuff holds up real good against rocks and stuff, tree tops. It's not as bad to break on you. If you wrap one up a tree limb or something. See a tree stump sticking out of the water. I'm gonna head towards it. I've seen several people fishing this morning, but I haven't seen anybody catching anything. I don't mean nothing. They might be as lousy a fisherman as I am. I don't know if you can see it or not. There's a tree stump sticking out of the water right in front of me, about 75 feet. And of course, I threw 10 feet to the left of it. No sense hitting it. I can see on my side skin there's like a drop in the ledge there. It drops. That might actually be pretty handy for holding fish. I don't have spot lock, and I don't have what is it? Live scope. My brother's got all that on his boat, but I don't. I can't afford that stuff, man. It is just expensive. A spot lock alone costs you arm and a leg. And then that live scope, gee whiz. I can buy a vehicle for what you pay for that stuff. It's funny, there's a part of the lake right down, not too far from here, where people are actually living. It looks like they're camping, but they're actually living. Living there. I'll tell you one thing I am going to do real quick, guys. I'm going to pull this camera out for a second. That's an easy lock so I don't drop it in the water. And I'm going to do something real fast. I kind of put the, I've got this thing attached, and I cannot see who is actually, how many people are watching, if anybody's watching. Ah, there we go. Cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change where I've got my tape. There we go. Cover, that didn't cover nothing up good. There we go. There we go. That's better. Now I can actually see. Hey, there's 5 people watching still. Cool. Cool, cool. Remember, guys, like and subscribe. I'm pushing 300 viewers or subscribers. And I'd really like to get up to 1,000. I'm shooting towards 1,000. That's my goal. Because let's face it, I mean, I enjoy fishing, but I am semi-retired, and I'd like to fish more, and I'd like to get paid to fish more. That's sort of my long-term goal anyway. So if I could get to 1,000, I could actually start making maybe a little bit of money. It wouldn't be much. Even at 3,000 subscribers, it ain't that much money, but it would help pay for better equipment to fish with and stuff like that. It ain't a lot. If you've ever checked into YouTube channel, making money off a YouTube channel, you got to have a ton of subscribers really to make much money off of it. But, and if I don't, who cares? I mean, I'm doing it for the fun of it anyway. I really enjoy fishing. It is my favorite sport. I deer hunt, but that is a short time of the year, man. You got a couple months to hunt, and then it's over, you know. Not too much yet. Been kind of slow this morning.
Yeah.
You been fishing?
I fished it a little bit. I really don't have a rod right now.
Yeah.
The main places I've been catch good bass over at the little, I guess you could say like boat floater thingy.
Yeah.
I've seen a few people catch some big bass like this.
Yeah.
And I caught one off from now. It should be right over there at the floater. One just from the bank just casting right there.
Is that right?
So they got some pretty good ones right there, and I've seen one. I seen someone catch a big one over that way.
Is that right?
So they're right here. I guess it's just all about what time you come.
Yeah, the earlier the better generally, it seems like, but I don't know. I've caught them all day long out here before. It's just things are a little bit slow for me right now, but that's all right.
You'll get it.
It'll get better, I'm sure.
Hope you have a good rest of your day.
Yeah, buddy, you too. Good luck. Nice young man doing a little fishing off the bank there. Let's see. Let's switch it up for a minute. Might as well. Go back to something a little smaller for a minute. I was ready to catch fish. Oops. There we go. That's better. I'm bound to catch something here in a minute. I think I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna go to. I got a cool little spinner bait I bought the other day, a little mini spinner. We'll try it for a few and see what happens. Nice chartreuse with a gold blade on it. Let's see what happens with that. You never know. That's what we're going to use next. We'll see what happens. Treetops right here. Close. Up on the camping spot, looks like. Be nice if people share their secrets. Oh, one guy staying on that bank over there, he must have caught him at least a fish on it to stay on it that long. He's went back and forth. This is his return trip on that same bank, so something must be working for him over there. time I'll catch something here. Or I'll hang up the bottom. Ah, shoot. Get over here and get this loose. I hung up on the bottom. A lot of rocks in here. There we go. There we go. Get off this bank. Man, they ought to be fishing here. This looks really good. This looks really good through here. All right. I believe you got to reel this one in pretty quick to keep the spinner blade moving on it. You better it's messed up. Yeah, you got to reel it pretty quick, which may not be good for deeper water. I don't know. We'll see. Probably better if it only had one spinner on it instead of the two. That way I could let it go down a little bit deeper. But you got to move this fairly quick to keep it spinning good. I do know one thing. This little rod and reel is going to make me a nut job before it's over with. Roberto Perez. What's up, Roberto? My name's actually Robert too. They call me FlukeDaddy on my TV channel or my YouTube channel, but my actual name is Robert. Turn out here a little bit because I'm getting awful shallow. Awful shallow. I'm definitely going to change up. I'm going to go to a wacky rig because I feel like that's probably going to be one of my better options for the day. So I'm telling you right now, things just ain't happening. So things ain't happening, you got to make them happen. And that's where I'm at right now. So get us a worm hook on. Box. Snap jeans. We're getting shallow. Put it in reverse. Reverse engines. Small hook here. There we go. You gotta get that small hook on with a wacky. Roberto Perez. Appreciate you coming in and joining us there, Roberto. Well, now I had that what was uncovered a minute ago, and now I can't see it. That's just my luck. How strange. No, there it is. One good thing about putting just this number 3 hook on here is that I can fish a fluke or a wacky rig. With it. I spit it out in a minute. I can't talk and think at the same time. Well, what have we got here? Looks like a fish house somebody made to attract fish or to keep them while they're tournament fishing, cheating. Hard to say. That's hard to say. But boy, this corner is muddy. Or if it's just the color of the rock, it might be just the color of the rocks. I don't know. We'll try it and see what happens. Definitely tell the difference in the staining of the water here, because it's right on this corner where so many boats go. And one thing, if I ain't careful, I'm gonna hit some rocks in my motor. Ooh yeah, shallow water, shallow water. Shallow water, easy, don't hit nothing. Man, you talking about good smallmouth looking area. I'm gonna kick it around here. There we go. We'll see what happens from here. I appreciate everybody that's watched today. That's killer. This is some deeper water here we're on now. It's not stained as bad. That right there on the corner, so many waves hit it, it just absolutely turned into a mud hole. It's a little more slower kind of fishing here with a wacky worm. Old wacky rig. maybe something better suited for a little bit shallower water, but yeah, I'm sitting in 17 feet. More likely catch a catfish out of here. Let's see, what have I got on that other lizard on there and a spinnerbait. This bridge we're at is literally the cut through from the boat ramp to the main part of the lake. So it literally gets hammered. You can't fish out here without running into a boat here. Let me see here. If that's a dog barking or somebody sneezing. One thing. I'm gonna haul it out of here and go to a whole different place. I sure am. I come out to fish and catch fish. If I ain't catching fish somewhere, I'm hauling it. Guys, I hate to call it a day, onions, but I think what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna pack up, go to a different boat ramp, and fish for a couple hours at a different place to see if I can catch anything there. No guarantees I will, but if you want to check me back out here in just a little bit, I will probably be fishing in a different spot on the lake. I don't know, I just feel like this place has gotten so hammered that I don't stand much of a chance of catching anything here. Like I say, they have tournaments here 3 days a week. I think they have a Wednesday tournament, a Friday tournament, and a Saturday tournament. And I don't know, I just feel like I'm probably not going to do that good here. I mean, I'm seeing bait. Man alive, I'm seeing bait everywhere. But just getting fish to hit is the problem. make a cast or two right over here. Make a shady spot real quick. But I'll bet you it's I don't know how long. Ooh, let's see. My eyes work. Beautiful day to be on the water. I should have gone out earlier. May go this afternoon after church. Have a blessed day. You too at ALN 4918. It is a beautiful day. If you get a chance to get out on the water, man, get out on the water. It's absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous day. Yeah, this little plug I'm using is not wanting to spin too good for some reason. It's being a little bit of a butt. For sure. All right. Let's kick it back toward the boat ramp. I'm done. I never did get that far from the boat ramp. I appreciate everybody watching. But yeah, I'm gonna slide off of here, guys, and I'm gonna actually go to a different boat ramp back towards the steam plant because they generate water there, and a lot of times you can catch fish there when you just can't catch them anywhere else. So I'm gonna do that real quick and see if I can catch some fish somewhere else for a little while. I appreciate everybody watching. Like and subscribe. Get your notification bells. I will be in all likelihood, I am going to go to another spot to fish. I'm going to load up real quick and head over there, and I may go back live again for a little while once I get there. So I appreciate everybody watching. You guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys again soon, I'm sure. Peace out.